like what Jenny was mentioning, well, I have been in the industry for quite a while. I don't want to talk about how many years because it's going to belie my age. Let's just say I've been here for quite a while. Lucky enough to have started out as an interviewer. Little by little, I worked up the ranks, and then I became a commentator. And then, luckily, just like what you mentioned, also Jerry, I was able to hopefully open the doors for some sportscasters, future sportscasters, to be able to work internationally. I personally believe that the Filipinos really have the talent, not just in sportscasting, but just in about anything. So we can be at level with just about anybody else in the world. It's just a chance that we have to be given. There just has to be a door that's got to be open for us to be able to step in there and show the world what we can do. And I'm lucky that that opportunity came about 10 years ago. And so I'm hopefully I would be able to pave the way for some other younger sportscasters out there to finally be able to also work internationally. Now, people wanted to ask me, they were asking me, what inspires me? Well, obviously, the athletes that I've been working with, I can draw so much inspiration from them because obviously, Maxi talked about this a while ago, also about the fact that to be a good world-class athlete, you have to be able to strive hard, you have to have determination, you have to have the courage, and all of that. But at the same time, you also need inspiration. And a lot of these athletes that are competing now had inspiration from the people who came before them. And at the same time, aside from that, you know, what really touches me, Jen, is the fact that with the different athletes that I've had the chance to work with, I've actually seen the human aspect in them, which actually, there are times that you and I have trials and tribulations in our lives, and you and I are wondering, my goodness, you know, is this where the world is heading to? I mean, you read what you have in the front page, and everything is mostly negative. And that's why I like sports. I've always been into sports since I was a very young kid. My parents always pushed me into sports, which I was glad that they did. And I can draw a lot of inspiration from the athletes that I've worked with, I've covered. And there's one particular story which I mentioned to the Farm-a-thon people, and they wanted me to share this with you. There was one event that I was covering. I now also work with a group called 1FC. It's actually one of the largest organizations as far as mixed martial arts is concerned. I'm lucky enough to be a part of that group for 2 years now. And there was one fight that I had covering in another country. And there were these two individuals. They went at it as if they were beating each other to a pulp. Because obviously that's what you've got to do. You've got to win the fight. After that fight, when the fighter that won got back into his room, he found out that the fighter that he just beat up and that he defeated actually lost his home because his house got burned down just a week before the fight.
Wow.
So right after that, what happened was when he found out from his manager that the guy that he actually just defeated lost his home just about 6-7 days prior to the fight, he took his winnings. He went to the fighter's room and he gave that fighter all his money that he won from the fight. And you know, it's things like this that once again re-establish my belief in humanity, because sometimes, because it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, but you know, when you see things like that right in front of your very eyes, it once again just restores your belief in humanity. And so people are asking me, where do you draw inspiration from? I draw inspiration from a lot of what I see of the athletes, not just trying to get to where they are, but even when they're actually competing, there actually still a compassionate side to all of them. And being able to be in my position, to be able to talk to all of you, to be able to have you communicate to your listeners, to your readers, or what have you, it actually helps me be a medium for that added inspiration.
Wow. Already very inspired. Let's say I'm a young one watching you on TV, really admiring you, and I want to become like you. What do I have to do first? Should I get into all these kinds of sports because I know that's what you did? Should I get into, should I develop the skill of being able to talk well? Should I really learn all these kinds of sports? What's my first step? I want to be Anthony Suntay.
Well, you know, I keep telling, even I tell my kids, I mean, don't try to be like Anthony Suntay, try to be better than Anthony Suntay. Because I want to see the youth, I want to see the future of today be even better than what we have right now. I want people to set the standards much, much higher. Now, going back to your question, I've actually spoken in a lot of universities, high schools, and even grade schools, wherein they have these career seminars. And the first thing I tell them really, if you want to be a sportscaster, Number one is you have to love sports. Because if you don't love sports, then you'll fall by the wayside. I've worked with so many people who are very good speakers. They could communicate very well. They understand the game. But unfortunately, they don't love sports. So what happened was, after about a year into sportscasting, they just decided to quit. Because as far as they were concerned, it wasn't something that they enjoyed doing. So it has to be something that you love to do. Secondly, the point that you brought up was very, very important also. You should be able to need to have proper command of a language. It doesn't have to be English. Kung gusto niyo ng Tagalog, mas familiar kayo sa Tagalog, pwede naman Tagalog. But you have to have at least a command of one language, so you'll be able to communicate what you can see and what you want to be able to say. So number one, you've got to have the love for the sport, and number two, you've got to have at least a command of one language, so you'll be able to communicate properly. That is first and foremost.
So you have to have the passion and then the skill to go with it.
Eventually, yes. But
Okay.
you know, the skill you can actually work on.
Yeah.
But then the desire and the love for sports, which is my particular career path, that has got to be first and foremost.
Okay. I know you all have a lot of questions for this guy. We will talk to him a little bit more because right now we are going to move